And you can start by introducing yourself and telling your story.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Nicole. So, this all started a few years ago. I would like to say around like 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, when I decided, you know what, I'm going to cut meat out of my diet. It wasn't for any crazy reason. Um, I wasn't really tuning into what anybody else was saying. I just kind of felt like, hey, let me just take meat out of my diet. Better for me, better for the environment, good for the animals. There wasn't too much thought to it. So I did that and I was fine. I was still like eating like fish and eggs and things along those lines, but I felt that I always wanted to go vegan deep down. I was like, I have to do this. Like, it's the best way to go. Like, fully plant based. Let me just ease into it. So it took me some time, and then I would like to say around like 7 or 8 months ago, I fully went vegan. Cut out all animal products, and I started just eating plant based foods.
Okay. Can I ask you, what was there any influences? Like, did you watch any documentaries or any friends or anything? Like, what put the idea in your mind?
It was really interesting because I refused to watch the documentaries. I
Oh.
was like, I'm not even going to tune into this stuff. But it was like people around me in my community, like there were so many people who were going vegan. Some of my friends were vegan. I was like, this is the right choice. This is what I have to do. Um, so I was just kind of following the trend unknowingly. I was like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
this is it. Um, and I did my research. I started looking into all the different vegan diets and I started trying out different things here and there. I got interested with the medical medium protocol. So I was like doing this celery juice every morning, and that's expensive too. To be
Mm-hmm.
buying celery in like large amounts and just be doing that. And I never really felt good. I was always very low energy throughout all of this. And I never put two and two together that it was because of my diet. Like, I was always just in bed. I was sad. I was depressed. And all I could think about was food. All I would think about was just getting up, getting more food, and then going about my day, but still extremely low energy. Um, so this happened for a while of me just like watching vegan YouTube videos, taking in more information, trying to learn what it is that I need to put in my diet because I was noticing that I had low energy after like a few months. And then I started to notice that I had digestive issues and that I started to gain more weight. And I didn't know what was going on. Because I would binge out on this food. I was never satiated on this diet and I didn't pay much mind to it. I was just kind of like, all right, gotta eat more food. So I just started doing that and that ended up fucking me up even more. And
Yeah.
I had it. Like I was so done. I didn't know what to do. I didn't really want to add animal products back into my life. Um, I wanted to keep eating plant based, but I didn't really know why I was doing it. Like, of course, yes, the animals, but the
Mhm.
animals are also getting hurt in the process of making a lot of vegan food. So, at
Yeah.
the end, stuff is still like animals are still being harmed.
What was like a typical meal that you would normally eat, or just like the foods that were staples in your diet?
Yeah, so that was like oatmeal, like a lot of oatmeal with like potatoes, a lot of sweet potatoes, bananas. Like every day, I would eat like 3 to 4 to even like 6 bananas a day, trying to fill myself up. But it would always like range. It was kind of like I would grab new items every single time I went to the supermarket. Like I wanted to try everything. I was like, oh, let me get like hemp protein, hemp seeds, like all of it, like different kinds of nuts, just to see what worked best for my body.
Yeah.
Because they always say listen to your body, but inevitably I wasn't. I wasn't listening to my body. I was listening to my mind and what I thought was best for me because I was so tied into veganism. So
Hmm.
staples were kind of like thrown out the window. I was not even doing this really sensibly. It was kind of like um, for a few weeks at a time, I would have certain foods that I ate a lot. But mostly it was kind of jumbled with a bunch of different random things.
So
And
you were trying like different nuts and seeds and legumes just to see what made you feel better, essentially?
yeah, like
Yeah.
what I could digest, what my body wanted. And it was almost like every single thing I tried, only like it made my digestive issues worse. And then I ended up gaining more weight. And it was kind of like I would be eating a somewhat like healthy diet. I wouldn't be eating too much food, but yet I was still always bloated.
Yeah.
Never went away. Um, so then there approached a time, I want to say like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I started to realize that I was having some serious liver pains. Um, and I didn't know where it came from. I didn't know why it was happening. And I asked so many people. I was like posting on Facebook. I was like, hey guys, like, anybody knows a lot about the vegan diet, like please talk to me right now. I was doing so much research trying to find out what was going on. I was like looking into the medical medium protocol. I was like, how can I help my liver? Tried everything. Nothing really worked. And then of course when I'm asking people who are into the vegan diet, like, what can I do for my liver? They told me everything that I already knew, like just a lot of the foods that I was already incorporating and whole long paragraphs and like, what are you doing wrong? Like, what
Yeah.
are you not? Are you taking all these supplements?
Milk
I'm like,
thistle. I tried milk thistle too.
I'm
The
taking
herbs don't work if you're not getting proper nutrition.
it sucks because I got it. I got the milk thistle. It helped slightly, but like
Mm.
no, because from all this, I started breaking out terribly too on my neck. My thyroid is so inflamed, on my face too. And I always had acne, but it went away for a long time. And now it's just back full force because of all the sugar that I was taking in.
Mhm.
Um,
What
but
other
then,
symptoms did you experience?
so it was definitely like the low energy was the biggest thing, and sleeping so much. My mood was terrible. I really tried my best to keep things stabilized, but like I get so angry so quickly. And I just thought that that was like me.
Mm.
I just thought that was like who I was, but like it was almost like somebody would talk to me and I'd be like triggered instantly. And that's
Yeah.
not cool. Um, then yeah, so it was my thyroid got very swollen. That was one of my symptoms. And then of course breaking out, um, getting abdominal pains. Like I got like it was mostly in my liver, yes, but then it went down into my kidney. I just started feeling so much pain everywhere. My joints, it
Mhm.
would hurt to wake up in the morning. And it was mostly the mindset. I feel it was the mindset that fucked me up the most because of how much I thought I was doing so good for my body, but really it was just hurting me. And I kept feeling it. I felt malnourished. I felt like I was poisoning myself in a way. And that was like my intuition. And I kept pushing that off to the side. I was like, I don't have to listen to
I'm
that. I'm going to keep eating this
just
food.
happy. Oh, I'm so great eating like broccoli, and then I'm like, ah, my pain's back. Why? Like,
I know, like, whoa, well, broccoli's good for me. Why is this happening?
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so then I started looking into YouTube more. I was like, there has to be something that I'm not seeing here with all of these symptoms that I'm experiencing. And like, I was preaching veganism to like all of my friends. I was trying to get my dad onto it,
Me
and
too.
he did. And now here I am. I mean, afterwards, like, we have all these veggies in the fridge still, and I'm refusing. I'm like, I can't even look at them right now. And he's like, I'll eat them for you. Okay. Um, but yeah, so as I was saying, so I was telling everybody about this. I thought I was kind of like a pro at this point. I was just like picking up all these tips and things from listening to all the different vegan YouTubers. I think I tuned into like absolutely everybody's channel trying to gain more information. But still like feeling like something wasn't right. I was I knew it. I knew that there was something up with the way that people were sharing their information and talking about veganism. It just seemed like two and two wasn't getting put together. Like everybody was arguing and different opinions and like don't do this, but do that. And
Yeah, the plant-based doctors can't even agree on what diet to eat. They all have a different diet, like high carb, low fat, no starch, like they can't even agree. And when you pay attention to the YouTubers' channels, the vegan YouTubers, they all have some kind of health problem, and they don't realize that it's from the vegan diet, and they just talk about like their depression and their anxiety and all these things like it's normal, and they don't realize that diet heals everything, every issue that they have. But yeah, go on.
exactly. No, because I feel like they think that the diet is healing these things like the depression and anxiety and like a lot of their health issues. I feel like they're just trying to like stick it out, but in all reality, it was caused by the diet. I didn't think that the diet was causing my issues at first. I was like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing right now. It's just gonna take a while and took
Mm-hmm.
too long.
Yeah, yeah, I thought the same thing, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And I was like, okay, if this diet was so good, I would be getting better, not worse. And that was like the epiphany.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that you had that epiphany because seriously, if I did not come across your channel, I would probably still be in the vegan diet right now. Just watching your videos kind of like brought
Hmm.
me back to reality. It was almost like I was just floating like on cloud nine, like but not it wasn't actually cloud nine, it was that enjoyable, but I was just not paying attention to what was clearly right in front of me the whole time. Um, but yeah, now just recently I started bringing, eggs and meat back into my life, a little bit of dairy here and there, and immediately my body started thanking me. Immediately I started regaining energy back. Like my body is finally healing from all of this. And I didn't want to believe it at first. I was like, no, it can't be that bad, but it's just the truth. Our bodies are accustomed to eating animal products. It's what we've done for thousands of years. And some of us just want to throw that out the window.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands.
Oh my gosh, so many people. So many people. And see, the thing that I just keep noticing is everybody arguing. I can't take it. It's so annoying. Why
Yeah.
are we fighting like this? I
Hmm.
feel like that's what inevitably like they wanted to happen. Like they wanted us
Yeah.
to fight and be separated in this way. And now it's kind of happening. And I noticed like with this vegan diet, I would judge people all the time for like eating meat and animal products.
Yeah.
But like deep down I didn't care, but like it was just the mindset where I was like, oh no, they're fucking shit up for themselves. Let me just let them fuck themselves up.
Hmm.
And that's not the case at all. It's really a mind game when it comes down to it.
Yeah, I'm shocked at how the vegan community responds to the ex-vegans. Um, Especially Bonnie Rebecca. She's like one of the most, well-known ex-vegans now in the community, and everybody just bashed her. And the poor girl, you could clearly see that she was suffering. Like she was underweight and her hair was thinning and she was very pale and she looked like anemic. And she went to a doctor and got professional advice. And the whole community was still like, oh, there's no excuse. You have to stay vegan for the animals, even if you're dying. Just like the common sense or the logic is not there. It's not there.
It's crazy. And something that I noticed is that she's the one like apologizing. She's like, I'm sorry
Hmm.
guys for not being vegan anymore. Why should you have to apologize to the vegans for doing something good for your body? Doing what
Exactly.
you needed for your body, or why are you apologizing to all these people that are clearly just going to criticize you? That's all they want to do is they just want to
Yeah.
be like, well, this is the right way. Like there is no right way. Like, there are some people who
Yeah.
can thrive on a plant based. Very rare, small group of individuals that could thrive off of plant-based. Now, there's going to come a time where these people are going to have to bring animal products back into their lives. If they want to take proper care of themselves, they're going to have to do that, because there are many people who they look like they have healthy diets, but like there's not enough nutrition there, and they're not really probably experiencing any symptoms yet. Everyone's body is different, and that is the truth. And that's something that they always say. They're always like, everyone's body is different. Yeah, that's true. And some people's bodies need animal foods. Like they need eggs, they need salmon, they need meat.
Yeah, I think most people do, but it's just different factors affect it, like how healthy you were before you started, your how healthy your gut was, whether you're a female or a male, because we bleed every month, and so we're losing more nutrients than men, especially like our blood nutrients. There's so many different factors that they don't take into consideration at all. And so the average eye or the average person might not see that these people are suffering, but like someone like me, for example, I was trained in symptomatology and trained in like Chinese medicine through what they look like, pretty much, essentially like your hair health, your tongue health, your eye health, and they don't realize how badly they're suffering just from their physical appearance.
Yeah, it's sad. So there's a channel that I found last night. It's called Vegan Deterioration. It's a bit extreme, but like
I love her channel. It's good. Yeah, her videos are good. I'm gonna link it below so people can check it out.
oh my gosh, yeah, because once I found that, I really saw what was going on here, like with Freely. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
And just because they were showing Bonnie Rebecca too, she looked like a completely different person when she first started veganism, and
Yeah,
now she's so skinny. And it's just it's just mind blowing to me that people aren't realizing that this is happening right now. Like a lot of people in
yeah.
the vegan community, they're wearing like these blindfolds, like these shields, like they can't see things clearly for what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
And it stinks. It really stinks.
Yeah,
But I feel like the most important thing is just to understand where other people are coming from, to understand where everybody is coming from, or at least try to understand, and not just criticize and tear one another down. It's too much. It is way too much.
yeah. I'm concerned about the health portion of it, obviously, because I'm a nutritionist. So many young people watch YouTube and they just get their health advice from like, their YouTube idol. And it is going to affect a lot of young people because they're in their growth phase, their development phase of their life, where they need more calories, more nutrients, fat. Um, and the diets that these people are promoting are extremely dangerous. Like a lot of them promote a low fat diet. It's not even a high fat vegan diet, which is still dangerous. But that's why I am, bringing you on here, and I'm going to have other people on here telling their vegan story, because I want to change the narrative to, if you want to be vegan for the animals, that's fine, but just understand that it's not the best for your health. Like let's get this straight. It's not the best for your health.
Exactly. And that's just like the blunt truth. And that's what needs to be understood. And you're already bringing that to life, which is so awesome. And I am so grateful that you have this channel and that you're doing this. Because there really aren't that many like ex-vegan channels. Like there are, but it's going to take time for them to grow more and for the word to get out there. And I just hope that a lot of, vegans tune into this kind of
Mm-hmm.
information, because that's how they're really gonna, help themselves, because it really is all through YouTube. It's just everybody listening to one another and what other people have to say about this.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts. It hurts your brain after some time, just like listening to all these different people talk about what's healthy and what's best and what this plant-based doctor did. Like Gregor, he also looks terrible.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna try and insert a picture right here because he he's emaciated and he's anemic. You can clearly tell, like, he lost the pigment in his skin. He aged like severely. He lost all his muscle mass, and not having any muscle mass is not healthy. Like, you're supposed to have muscle mass and some fat on your body that is being in a state of health, not being emaciated. So the fact that people are taking advice from him and he's like withering away in front of their eyes.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts to watch, but it's a huge lesson for everyone when it really boils down to it. It's a lesson of like, who are you going to listen to? You know, who is
Mm.
telling actual information? Who is telling facts? Um, like, are you going to keep wrecking your body or not? Um, like, can these people even feel or tune into what's actually going on inside? I don't know. I'm not quite
Not
sure.
their Yeah, it's not their main motive. For most of them, their main motive is the animals. But what I'm trying to prevent is um, new vegans or younger vegans not knowing the consequences. So, for example, like if I would have known the detrimental health effects, I would have been able to recognize them at the onset instead of doing so much damage to my body. Like, I had a lot of nerve damage happen to my body that I now have to repair because I tried to stay vegan for so long for the animals because I thought it was healthy at the same time. So I'm not against somebody trying veganism or trying it out for them. I think everybody has the right to try whatever diet that they think is best for them. But more knowledge and more awareness needs to be out there about the dangers, because clearly all these people are having like almost the same symptoms, almost the same side effects of a vegan diet. So something's going on here that these plant-based doctors are not telling us and not talking about because they want to push their own agenda.
Yes. Just yes, that was spot on. That yes. Oh my gosh. It is so true. I was gonna say something but it flew out of my head. Ah.
Well, here he comes.
He's joining us. Oh my gosh, we both have our animals. um
So were there any other symptoms you had? Anything else you noticed?
um honestly, that was it. It was just like the binge eating and everything all together. Um, because I was just never satiated. I'm actually probably sure that I'd have to go to the doctor soon and like figure out what's really going on internally because I'm not even quite sure what's going inside because like I know that I have a sugar addiction now from all of this and
Yeah.
it's horrible.
So, yeah, especially if you're having liver pain, I would definitely go see um, the doctor just to figure out, 'cause the liver is nothing to mess around with. But vegans tend to get fatty liver from, the spike of insulin constantly. They also tend to get SIBO, so small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, because the bacteria is feeding off the fiber and feeding off the sugar. And
Yeah.
in order to heal that, you have to go on a high fat, extremely low carb or no carb diet to starve that bad bacteria that's feeding off of the sugar, to rebalance your gut flora. So I know Goji Man, he talks a lot about SIBO and how to heal it on a vegan diet. But the truth is that you can't heal SIBO on a vegan diet. You might get rid of the symptoms for a while because of the supplements or the herbs that he's using to kill off this bacteria, but the long term, it's going to eventually keep coming back because you're giving them the food that they love and that they feed off of, this bacteria. So
Exactly. Especially goji berries. Like goji berries really aren't even good for you and his name is Goji Man. Like I don't know if you looked into nightshades or goitrogens. You have?
yeah, because I had serious, my thyroid was swelling up, like you said, yours was. I have pictures of where like it's literally like sticking out of the side of my neck. So it wasn't to the point where it was like a permanent goiter, but it was just swollen and inflamed anytime I ate specific foods or vegetables.
Mm, yeah, see, that is something like I highly recommend like everybody who's watching to look into is the goitrogens and the nightshades because I don't even think we realize like who really knows that some of the dangers of like these
Yeah.
plant foods like they are there, they do exist. It's not like all the plant foods are just absolutely amazing. There are things here that can really mess you up in the long run, especially also like the processed foods and all the things that are added to it, like these coconut yogurts and things, all the chemicals that are thrown into it, a lot of the almond milks and the cashew milks. Like these things in large amounts are can be very poisonous to the body and there's like no awareness of that yet.
Yeah. Despite
Awareness is coming.
despite common opinion, fake meats and faux meats made out of wheat, seitan are not better for you than real meat. The amino acids aren't there, the saturated fat and cholesterol is not there, the micronutrients aren't there. It's just essentially like bread meat. That's all it is. With synthetic vitamins sometimes added to it, but your body doesn't absorb them like it does natural vitamins.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's another thing, the absorption of these nutrients because like there's a lot of plant-based foods that have anti-nutrients to them. So when you're eating these foods, they could have some kind of nutritional value, but since the anti-nutrients um, are much stronger, they prohibit your body from even absorbing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm positive that like my iron levels are really low. I'm just bouncing off of like what I felt after I tuned in, but yeah, I feel as though my iron levels were very low from all these anti-nutrients because I was eating foods that were high in iron, but like
Yeah, me too.
it just doesn't absorb.
Yeah.
It stinks.
I would definitely, yeah, go get your blood work done so you can, if anything is deficient, you can work on like restoring it back to normal.
Yeah, restoring myself back to full health from all of this. Um, And then yeah, also when I incorporated the animal products back, it was kind of like something clicked in my mind as well. It was kind of like my brain started functioning properly again. Like I could feel it. I felt it like when I first like ate eggs and bacon, like I felt myself coming back to
Hmm.
reality. Like I felt myself coming back to health because it was so deprived for so long.
Yeah. If you're interested, there's a like a great little farm co-op that I order stuff from. It's called Uttermilk. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but they you just sign up like with your email, you make an account. They have to approve it first. And then you can order like raw milk, raw cheese, meat, cat food, dog food. Like they have a lot of good stuff. It's all from local farms.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
deliver it like right to your house.
oh my gosh, awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I've been looking for like raw milk because my body is already craving it. Um, so I would love to look into that a little bit more too and get my dad on top of this because I'm trying to explain all these realizations that I've had about this diet to my dad, and
Hmm.
he doesn't want to listen just yet. He's like, "What are you talking about, Nicole?"
Yeah, went from A all the way to Z.
Exactly. So quickly too, so quickly. But I'm grateful that now I know because I sincerely, I really do have so much more energy. My mood has changed only from just a few days of like eating animal products and bringing them back into my life. It's changed drastically.
Hmm.
Whereas like the vegan diet, I was going for months and it felt like I was just dragging along every single day.
Yeah.
But Yeah, there definitely needs to be some caution. People really do need to be very careful with what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beware, new vegans.
Pay attention, but really pay attention to your bodies because they say listen to your bodies, but really tune
Yeah.
in.
I watched, it was a couple of days ago, some girl named Tofu Goddess.
Oh,
She
I saw her.
she put a video up like, all these ex-vegans, they always talk about just listen to my body. My body was craving this. And she's like, your body is not an all-knowing being. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my God. So now you're telling young people to not listen to their body when they're getting pains and this and that. I'm like, listen, like I'm thinking this in my head. I really want to do a response video, but I gotta chill on the response videos. But I was like, your body has a feedback system. It is interacting. That's why you have nerves and, your senses and all that stuff. Your body has a feedback system. If you get burned, like, ouch, don't put your hand in fire. It's the same feedback system when you have pain in your body, when you eat something and you get, phlegm or you get a stomach ache, like all these signs, yes, pay attention to. Your body is communicating with you what it wants, what it doesn't want, etc., etc. So, yeah, I just had to throw that
Exactly.
in there.
Yes,
Your
please.
body does know. I mean, there's a difference between like being addicted to like sweets and like craving something because it's a chemical substance that's temporarily, triggering that sensation in your brain, the dopamine and all those good, happy chemicals. But there's a huge difference between craving proper nutrition and craving junk food.
Exactly. And that's where the discernment comes in. And that's when you really have to just trust yourself and not really listen to what everybody else is saying because
Mm.
comment right there that Tofu Goddess made, like that just goes to show that she's not paying attention to herself. How could you tell people not to listen to their body?
She admitted that it's not always like sunshine. Like she has struggles on the vegan diet, but she's committed to it because of the animals, which is fine. You can torture yourself. You can put yourself through that. You have that right to be on whatever kind of diet you want to be. But don't promote the idea that it is healthy for everyone because it's absolutely not. And it's dangerous. I personally think it's not vegan or ethical to be promoting the fact that this diet is healthy because you're doing a lot of collateral damage along the way.
Yep, exactly. But the new vegans, the young ones that are stepping into this, they aren't aware of any of that. They aren't aware. Nobody taught them how to do this. It's all the geniuses on YouTube that apparently know what they're talking about all the time.
Yeah, and
They
that's
don't.
why I'm working on a video right now because like this whole I was in school this whole time for like learning about nutrition while I was vegan, and I was eating as healthy as I possibly could, paying attention to like Dr. Greger, like all of the vegan doctors. I was eating high fat vegan. I was eating like no processed food. Probably maybe once or twice a month I would have like a cupcake or a pizza or something, but it was still like healthy vegan food, and I still ran into problems doing it as perfectly as you can. So I have like a bunch of pictures because I documented everything on my Instagram of all the food that I was eating because I was promoting it to everybody. I have a bunch of pictures of all the food I ate because all these vegans seem to think that I did it wrong. I must have ate junk food. I'm lying. I haven't been vegan for 4 years. So the proof's coming.
And it'll be there right in front of their faces. And then there's not really much that they can do or say. It's just like, come on, we just have to have respect for one another. Seriously, like there shouldn't be this big of a feud that's going on right now between the vegans and the ex-vegans. Like seriously, it's childish, it's immature. Come on, guys, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
Like,
this is the nature of YouTube, though.
it is
Responding.
everyone fighting back and forth, like vegan gains and just all of this stuff. Like what's going on? What are people doing with their free time? Just shitting on others and what they supposedly did wrong. It's just, it's too much.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, some other things that I experienced is my period would I didn't have like crazy cramps. It didn't last a long time. It actually only lasted like one day, and I would bleed very heavily for one day, and then my period would just be gone. And it would just like normally my period would last like up like 3 days to a week, and after a while it just started to become nothing.
Yeah, you were losing it.
Yeah, totally losing it. And then um I started to get like frequent UTIs, like all the time, and I did not know what was going on. I really did try so many remedies for UTIs, and it was like nothing was working. Everything that I put in my body to try and help myself um, didn't work on this vegan diet. Now it's finally these symptoms, they are finally healing because of the animal products that I brought back in. And
Yeah.
of probiotic supplement, but I was still doing that while vegan, and that was not helping. It was almost like it would go away, and then immediately the next week it would come back. I was like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, like, I didn't know how to tell my boy. I was like, how do I tell him what's going on right now? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's usually like an imbalance of gut bacteria. I mean, partners can pass on, like men can technically like pass on a bladder infection to you, but not have the symptoms of it. So yeah, you can look into that if you keep getting them, but it's usually because your gut bacteria, your immunity isn't strong enough to just fight off any bacteria that gets in the urethra.
It stinks because they're also saying the celery juice would help with all of that, and celery juice did not help with any of that whatsoever. If anything, it made things worse. Celery juice did nothing for me except like just dig a hole in my wallet from all the money I spent on
Yeah.
celery.
And they say, oh, you're not doing it long enough. You're supposed to drink celery every day for half a year.
Is that
It's like $10,000 in celery.
like how easy is that?
The celery prices went up because of the medical media and because everybody jumped on the celery juice like bandwagon. So when I went to the store, they used to be like $3 for a bunch of organic celery. Last time I went, they were like $6 for a bunch. Yeah.
Serious?
And you're like to get the amount he says, like 16 ounces, that's like one celery. You have to juice one celery each day. So $6 a day just for celery. It's not giving you like barely any calories, like barely any nutrients. It's just
And
a
it doesn't
detox.
do much. It puts you on the toilet. Like that's what it does. I mean, I didn't really get much like energy after drinking celery juice, but I did feel it in the beginning. Like it felt good, but then after doing it every day, I was just like, why am I doing this? And I just stopped. I had to like ask myself, "Well, what am I doing here? Spending all this money on celery and then having to clean the juicer every time. I barely even had enough energy to like clean the juicer every day. I was like, I don't even want to fucking do this.
That's the other thing is that people think because they're detoxing or they're drinking all these juices and stuff, it's cleaning them out. But if you don't have enough energy to function, that means that your cells, like your mitochondria, don't have enough energy to clean house, like clean internally. So you don't have to starve yourself to detox. You don't have to drink juices to detox. When you're giving yourself proper vitamins and minerals, your body, your cells will detox on a cellular level. Like raw animal fat is actually more detoxifying than celery juice because it actually chelates heavy metals and pulls them out of the system, whereas celery juice doesn't do that. So,
Wow. I
yeah.
didn't know that. Thank you for that piece of information. Of course, for everybody to listen to that because Really? Like I thought I was detoxing this whole entire time because of like how much I was going to the bathroom and like all the healthy superfoods I was eating. I was like, yeah, I'm detoxing, but like I didn't even have the energy to do most of these things. Like there are so many times where I like literally couldn't even go to the supermarket. It's right down the street from me. I just was so low in energy. I could
Yeah.
not do anything. I couldn't get a job. Like there were so many things that were like right in front of my face that I was having difficulty doing like everyday tasks because
Hmm.
my body was declining.
Yeah. I got to the point where I didn't want to do my hair. I didn't want to get out of bed. I'd like even like simple tasks like brushing my teeth and taking a shower were dreadful. That's how low energy I got.
Oh my gosh. It's see me too. And it stinks, but this is the reality of it. That other people are probably experiencing these same things because like I also didn't want to like do anything to my hair. I barely wanted to get out of bed in the morning. I would just rather sleep.
Hmm.
Crazy. It's really crazy, but it's something to really pay attention to and not just brushed off of your shoulder.
Yeah, because it only gets worse. I've been through that where I tried, oh, my vitamin D is low. That must be it. I'll try supplementing with that. Oh, my iron's low. I'll try supplementing with that, and none of it worked. It's more complicated than just giving yourself a supplement.
Exactly. Exactly. Which supplements are, I feel like they are very beneficial, of course, if your diet is in the right place.
Yeah, they're an addition to a well balanced diet. They're not a replacement for lacking in your diet.
Yes. And the amount of sugar that some of these people have in their diets, I could just see how a lot of these things are not working out for them. But
They'll learn eventually.
yeah, they gotta learn, gotta make their own mistakes to see what's really going on because, we are people who lived through it, we experienced it, and now here we are on the other side, and this is just our stories from veganism.
Hmm. Is there anything else you wanted to say to anybody who is thinking about going vegan or?
What I would say is really do your proper research. And, I would say that a vegan diet is probably good for like a short cleanse, like
Mhm.
a very short period of time. I do not recommend going long term with a vegan diet unless you are one of those rarities that can thrive off of a plant based diet. Otherwise, really just listen to yourself and trust yourself. If you're craving eggs, if you're craving fish, do not beat yourself up because of those cravings. It's not a bad thing. It really is just your body's response to wanting nutrients.
Mhm.
Be very gentle and light with yourself within your transition. Whether you are vegan bringing in animal products or whether you're just like a vegan stepping into this, just be very cautious of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for this. And it has been an honor to be on your channel and be able to speak my story out into existence for people to hear and
Yeah.
listen
Thank
to.
you. Thank you for messaging me and telling me, that I impacted you positively because that's my whole motivation for doing those videos and starting this channel is I realized that there's so many other women like struggling like I was. And I lost years of my life because I didn't think it was the vegan diet. Just years of my life being depressed in bed in pain. So I'm glad that you're on a healthier path now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for what you're doing for everybody. It's helping so much. We need you right now. We need you. Oh my gosh. So, yes, thank you.